Hi folks, Stan here from howtoecig.com, and I'm always looking at new little things to experiment with. And one of the things I find, my typical vape is the eGo battery with the dual element Clearomizer, and the Cardo is great. It's dual coil, it's very warm. Uses a lot of juice because it puts out a lot of vape. Let me show you. Well, it puts out a really nice vape, great tasting vape, and this is my absolute favorite thing. The problem is that it uses a lot of juice. Now they do make a tank set up for this, but it's rather cumbersome, and I spend a fair bit of time out of the house and having to take along a bottle of juice and putting a few drops in after every few vapes, is inconvenient, and so I wanted something that would last longer, so that I didn't have to be constantly refilling it. So I got this. Yeah, that's pretty large. In fact, it is. I can't see here. Identical size to the battery. This is the eGo W Clearomizer. It is low resistance, and I'm going to put it on. Just screws on. Has a pen cap, as you can see, and that comes off. And it has a little, looks like a drip tip. It's actually just a smoke tip, and it works quite well. I'm going to change the view here slightly. So, where is it? There it is. This is a Clearomizer. So if this has a case on it, if you take that case off, you'll find, well, you can't see that very well in that light. Let me just move it up here a little bit, see if we can see it better. There we go. It has this large plastic cylinder which holds the liquid. You can see this is down pretty low, but it holds about 2 mils, I think, maybe a little bit more of liquid. So you're not having to top it off all the time. So if you're out on the road and you want to vape, you don't have to constantly be topping it off. To fill it, it has a little silicone plug-in here, and there's a little small hole that you can, look at this over where you can see it, and then you just push through that. It reseals itself after you take it out, and you just force the juice into it. And as you can see, it's filling up. I'm not going to go any further. The one thing I have found is that it wicks very well, and when you force juice into it, sometimes after you do that, it's best to take a little tissue or paper towel or something and put down in here to the heating elements at the top, just to get a little excess juice, because you can actually flood it. As you can see, you can't really see on this, but I'm going to do it again because it didn't get down in there good. Let me see if you can see. You can flood the atomizer in there because it wicks very well, and when you're pushing that in there, it will force a little juice up into the addy. It actually likes, I found that it likes thicker juices, I'm using a 50-50 mixture, as that seems to vape the best with this. The only disadvantage, I mean, other than the size of this thing, to it is that it does mute the flavor a little bit. Not quite as strong flavor as you will get out of, the dual element Cardo or dual heating element Cardo. That's the best flavor. There's no question. So the flavor is a little bit muted, and like I say, you do have to be careful when you're filling it that you don't flood the Addy, because you'll hear it. It looks like I didn't flood it too much. Anyway, I got this from my friend Rick at Vapor Alley, and it's about $10. Comes with all the stuff that you saw, and it really is convenient when you're out, because having to top off. I either use the bogey, which you're constantly having to top off, or I use the dual coil, which still, when you're out, having to carry a bottle of juice with you, and constantly having to top it off to keep from drying it out. Because with those cartomizers, you want to be very, very careful not to scorch them, or they're ruined. And nothing tastes worse than a scorched cartomizer. When the filler in there gets scorched, it's horrible. So you throw it out. But this is very convenient. Don't have to top it off. It takes damn near takes probably more than 2 milliliters of juice in there, and it really works quite well. Like I say, I like to use stronger flavors in it because it does mute the flavor slightly. This is a menthol, and it's a very strong menthol, but when you use it in the Clearomizer, it comes out somewhat lighter in flavor. But I really like this thing, and like I say, with all the shielding, the Clearomizer assembly is much more protected, and with that pen clip top, it's not likely to fall out of my shirt pocket, so I'm not going to break it like I did one of those CE2s. The CE2 was nice, held a lot of juice, did not wick as well. This wicks incredibly well, and in fact that's why I recommend the thicker juice, because I found my normal juice is 75-25, 75% propylene glycol, 25% glycerin, and it tended, if I drew a little too hard, it tended to flood the atomizer, and then I had to clear that out, and that's kind of a pain. So the thicker juice works quite well and gives you a nice cloud of vapor. At home, absolutely, I'm going to be using this. Best flavor, and just a ton of vapor. But when I'm out, or I'm going to be using the bogey. The bogey works nice, and also puts out a ton of vapor. But when I'm out on the road, this is going to be my companion, because I'm not going to have to refill it all the time. All right, like I said, got it from Vapor Alley. Highly recommend Rick's place. Best prices on the web that I've seen, and his customer service is fantastic. And he's even gone so far as to get on the phone with me to tell me if there was a problem with an order, and straightened it right out for me. And I really appreciate the kind of service he gives. All right, bye for now, and keep vaping. Enjoy your vaping. Yeah, it's a nice vape. All right. Bye for now.